Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Show. We're talking about Project Runway, episode 6. We did a streetwear challenge. I'm NICO, NICO.
Hi everyone, I'm in this archway. I'm Jonah. You can find places at Peak Jonah.
I'm TK. You can find me at TK Accidental.
I'm Tori. Find me at SM Tori with an I.
And that makes me your producer, KEVO. You can find me at KEVO Really. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we know what you want us to cover in the future. But we are having so much fun covering this exciting season of Project Runway.
It is a big old blast. I'm loving that we are hitting like all of the standard challenges. We are doing all of our favorite stuff. And so we're in streetwear. And so the first thing we got to talk about is who went home. Okay. I do want to start with they sent Annie of Green Gables back into the past. And I'm kidding because she was very talented.
Sorry, Tori.
Madeline, and she's got like the most unbelievably like DC superhero last name. It's like Malinfante or something. Like it is amazing. I will miss her. I will miss her charm. I'll miss her energy, being very positive in the workroom. Sorry to see her go.
Yeah, she was sweet, but you know, after she lost her bestie, Joseph McCrae, these things happen. Some of us need emotional support designers.
And I think she was a case of someone who wasn't really prepared for the reality television competition angle of what this was going to be. It's tough. It is a hard thing. And if you're not ready, it'll get you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, part of it is she talked about it. She's a self-taught designer, seamstress, sewer, tailorer. So a lot of technical skills that this show kind of needs you to be a master of to get through things very quickly, she didn't quite have within her repertoire just yet. And I also wonder how she would have fared a little bit better if they had a little bit more 2-day challenges. Doing everything one day, back to back to back, this is the 5th one-day challenge in a row, is just too much. It's asking these people to do so many things. And she's someone who has a lot of talent. If they ever do an All-Stars, like I don't want to say a proper All-Stars, but if they ever do an All-Stars again, they'll I think she's someone who has a lot of potential to kind of have a piece in fashion in the industry. I love that she was like, yeah, commission me to buy it because I need to make money off of this. Like, oh, a little too real. But yeah, so support her if you can. Oh.
She had a unique personality amongst this bunch. And you can see, you saw it a lot this episode, the ways in which this show is trying to be a little more like Drag Race. And it wants especially talking head personalities. And I love that their kind of addition to that is the edited Chiron and all the various like funny jokes that are in there. They do crack me up and
they're great,
entertaining. But she was so subdued and so low energy, which on the one hand I felt was very calming and very impressive, but I don't know, when I look at this challenge and I'm like, who had to go home? Who was absolutely the worst? I think they both, I mean, neither was terrible, neither did notably worse than the other, but Melania still has some fire for TV, and Madeline, just very chill. I can imagine as a reality TV producer being like, she's given me exactly 0, she's thrown no one under a single bus, she doesn't have a catchphrase, and, you know, new show, kind of new energy that they're bringing to a Slowpoke, baby. But I still, that she had not a great personality for reality TV is not to say that she did not have a great personality.
And also, nor is it to say that her talent doesn't deserve to be showcased. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of fall into when I discuss my general distaste for reality competition, is that it starts to feel like the talent that we're supposed to be showcasing isn't allowed to be showcased because we're getting bogged down in personality and things. She's getting bogged down in wet blanket because the most energy she can provide is when she's upset. We don't get to see her being like, it's a great day in the workroom. Me and my bestie just had Wheaties for lunch. Like, it's great. Like, we don't get to see that because she's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like a chill vibe. I think this past week, Ethan at Roscoe's was talking a little bit about how it felt like this season they were pushing to make this like a bigger thing, a crazier thing. and that some people kind of got railroaded by that. That even if you thought you were going into a difficult season of this show, you might not be ready for the shenanigans that they were going to pull.
Mm-hmm. I also want to say how grateful I am for Project Runway for casting the first Victorian child as a contestant.
Really that's a ghost.
Not
that's
the
a ghost,
first.
by the way.
Far from the first.
She's the first starving orphan.
Yes, and I don't want to echo your point, Tori. Project Runway never really had the problem of people are staying or being put in the top or the bottom for storyline purposes or reasonings. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was due to the talent. I think they're very, very, very handful of cases based off of 21 plus seasons, not even including the All-Stars or international series, where I was like, yeah, I've ever been like, no, I don't really agree with the top or the bottom. Majority of the time, the judges are usually correct. And this season feels like because they're trying to recapture a market, they're re-entering themselves all brand new, under new people, all this, that, and the other, that they're trying to differentiate themselves from prior seasons. And it feels like we're not getting as much focus on the talent. Especially I can tell when there's very little focus on them actually constructing things. No, one could argue that them constructing things wasn't the most entertaining thing, which it really isn't. But I do like it to see a little bit more of their processes and what they're trying to do and what they're working on, because it helps form, like, did they have to pivot? Is this what they were trying to work on? Like, what went wrong? Like, show me the technicality a little bit more.
I wonder if, you touched on something earlier that I think is really significant that I appreciate you bringing up, that I really want to talk about, which is this is way too many one-day challenges. And beyond all of the other problems that creates, which I'm focused on how that psychologically is tormenting the designers, when the challenge has more time, there's more footage. And so are they also not getting enough footage that is compelling enough because the challenges are so short?
There's not enough downtime,
So we're also not getting enough footage from the designers to get the kind of thing that we're looking for. So the whole slurry of problems of this constantly being one-day challenges, add that to the pyre now. The log of now there's less footage for us to pull from when we love seeing that portion of the program. We love seeing the construction, the challenges, getting those insights.
What is the usual ratio of 1 day to 2 day challenges? Because right now we are at 6 episodes in, and we have had 6 1 day challenges out of a presumable 10.
It's usually like 3 1 day challenges,
and the rest are 2 day.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's usually closer to 30% as opposed to the possible 60% we may be seeing.
Yes, and there's something to be said that there will be oftentimes Heidi for specific challenges, especially if they involved anything involved with Heidi's brand. She would often come in, and during those times, she would most likely say, "You are not far along as I would have wanted. I'm giving you all an extra 6 hours to work tonight." And she would Heidi would just arbitrarily decide when they wouldn't get more time, and so it's especially bizarre because from a show perspective, it seemed like they didn't like doing 1 day challenges as much as they liked giving them 2 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're only given so much time to produce. They have to specifically fill a set number of episodes and challenges, so they have to fit everything within that. It just feels weird that everything is 1 day. I give some variety. The turnaround time genuinely cannot have been this fast. The fact that we had an entire episode within the workroom, no, you can't convince me.
First off, Dynamite Screen Caps team, way to go. Just some great stuff on the board. Thank you, Jonah. It's weird that we're 6 episodes in, only 1 day challenges. Is there going to be 1 2 day challenge at the end where they're like, finally, we are giving you 2 days? And then it's like, why did you keep calling them 1 day challenges when the format of the show is just you have 1 day to make an outfit? And that's a different show. And you maybe should have said that. But mentioning every week, putting it on the Chiron every week, oh, this one's a 1 day challenge. Right, but there haven't been any 2 day challenges. So Why are we announcing it? That's just the format of the show now.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that they will announce at minimum one, but if every challenge after this is not a 2-day challenge, they have essentially changed the format of the show, and they need to kind of
Acknowledge
themselves.
We watch a lot of cooking shows, and we're currently watching the second season of 24 and 24, where 24 chefs have 24 hours to cook. And that's a show where it's all about speed. I just didn't know this was design in a minute. And like, I would definitely have a different reaction to design in a minute than I do to Project Runway.
I've heard of fast fashion, but not like this.
Right?
Hey, I would actually be very interested in if we would have a different set of designers if we had a couple of 2-day challenges in there at this point, or if we hadn't had all group challenges for the first 3 episodes or whatever. Like, stuff. It feels very much like designers are planning on getting through 1-day challenges and fully expressing their vision and point of view in 2 days. And since we're not getting any of those, what are we missing on here? Where's everyone's elevation? Because what Ethan can do in 1 day, I bet everyone else can also do in 2 days. So what are we missing? Where's the top level?
I will say some of them were often, at least like the first challenge, felt like a very faux team challenge. It's like you're working in teams, but you're all done individually anyway. So you didn't really work in teams. You're just, working together. But at Roscoe's this week, Utica brought up a very interesting point that someone like Angelo, who had to do 3 team challenges in a row, might not have felt comfortable to showcase his specific design capabilities, because a lot of that, she said from her perspective, was him bending to fit with the team, which if you tell them it's a team challenge, a lot of people are going to do, and then to kind of pull the rug and be like, actually, we're judging you all individually anyway. It's kind of like, well, what are we doing here then? This season, I don't know, it makes me feel bad. Like, yes, there are tight deadlines and a lot of fashion, especially right before you're getting ready for a show. Your models quits on you, blah, 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 whatever. We come up with a million excuses and reasons why you want to make them work
sometimes
fast.
your model loses 6 sizes in a day.
Ozempic works fast for some people.
It does.
But it just feels weird. It feels rushed. The editing feels rushed. I don't know what is going on. Obviously there's plenty of decisions behind the scenes, from producers to editors to networkers to investors to everybody who has a hand who isn't directly making the show, that there's a reason it's going in this specific direction. I don't know. There are just things about it that feel weird. You bringing up 24 and 24 is I think a good comparison, because the whole point of that is it's all filmed in 1 day. It is filmed for about 24 hours, and then they make the show out of that. And that, like, they're all signing up knowing that. But we're here to showcase the new generation of designers, people that names you want to expect, people you want to support, order a custom piece from.
Names you want to expect. I love that.
Whatever. This isn't really giving us the best view case of them, because they're not going to be working under 1-day constraints, which, by the way, isn't exactly 1-day constraints. Sometimes it's only 8 hours. Sometimes they genuinely call it a 1-day challenge and they give them 8 hours to work, and maybe 2 hours the next day. Like, it's not. This doesn't feel like it's really showcasing people's talents, more so showing it a way to physically break people. Because this Drag Race works on a tough time schedule, and drag is very hard on the body. This is a lot of labor. This is a lot of labor that they're
Fiddly little hand labor.
I feel like we've seen I'm so used to like cooking shows, seeing people have bandages on their fingers because they've cut themselves and they just happen to cut it.
Or if they're in finger tutting battles.
We're gonna start seeing wrist braces soon. We really are.
Utica's,
wrist braces and finger splints.
Utica has talked about she's still recovering from carpal tunnel because of the amount that she was just sitting there with her wrist, like, you're doing this. Not to be like a person, as someone who tried sewing a garment, and I made something akin to clothes. It takes a lot. What I thought would be not take me long took me a couple of hours to do a very simple shirt. It took me a couple of hours to just make a shirt that was nothing innovation design. What the pattern was not proper. Like, I didn't do good. I did okay. But it like, this is a lot of menial. It's a lot of menial tasks too, because there were amount of times where like I take it off, I try it on, or I have to sew this again, take it off, they keep doing it. And I'm my own model. They don't have their models with them the entire time.
And if they fuck up, they don't get more fabric. If the machine breaks, like there's a lot to this. And I know that like we've been used to watching design challenges on Drag Race for a whole bunch of time, and that's a little bit more of like Dance Monkey's dance than this is. Because even if you get a whole bunch of people who know how to sew, sometimes they don't know the fabrics or they don't know how to deal with the time constraints. Like it's a little bit different. This feels like taking MIT graduates and just being like, so we're gonna have you solve times tables for the next 48 hours, and the fastest you can do that, like, you win. It's like it's not exactly what it is. Like, we know what you're doing, we know what you're capable of, but you can't quite show us the level you're capable at because you're just grinding.
And yes. I don't hate that comparison, and I especially like it because I think of that cliffhanger where Madeline was upset. They were talking about who they should vote off, and VJ was talking about Joseph McCrae doing such a simple thing. And when you take it from that perspective of these are such sophisticated performers to turn in something even more basic when already they're asking such basic skill levels from you, it's even more basic. So when you think of it from that perspective and the elevated level VJ was coming at it from, it really adds a level to that perspective.
And it makes you wonder who they're going to get for future seasons.
Especially because fashion talks fast.
Yeah, well, and
NDAs don't mean nothing to these people.
Well, and even just from the perspective of like, if you're watching this season and you are somebody who would have applied for previous seasons of Project Runway, you might go like, I'm a really good designer, but I don't design well in one day. I'm not going to apply for the show where all they do is give me one-day challenges. On the other side of that, like I said, it's kind of a different show. So like maybe lean into that. Like maybe you're not asking the Jones, Bolognas, and Ethans to apply. You're asking, I mean, like you use the metaphor of MIT graduates doing times tables, but maybe you're asking FIT graduates just out of school who haven't made a name, who are young,
which would be fucking cool as shit. Right. Let me tell you.
I'm trying to think of like anybody for whom this isn't a little bit insulting to ask them to do it constantly.
But at what point does it shift from insulting to degrading and taking advantage?
I love this conversation, and I've really enjoyed getting to connect on this topic, but we have a fashion emergency. Somebody called Kelly Osbourne. Okay, KEVO, would you go back to Bologna in the workroom?
Oh God, what?
Like what? Her model. I'm so sorry.
Erica
her look. Parappa the Rappa is flawless, and no one should ever again. I hate Bologna's garment. I hate it so much.
Oh, here you go.
And I hate it. I really hate it. I think it looks like a plastic tablecloth, like a placemat. Actually, I think it looks like a placemat material.
Yeah.
The material looks.
The sequin doesn't go well on camera.
No, it looks cheap, and it looks like the angles are unflattering in a way that I find weird to a woman's lower part. And I thought this was terrible and pegged it for the bottom and was very wrong. And you initially were kind of like, you're crazy, and now you're like, I can maybe see where you're coming from, but you have your own opinions. But like, I think Bologna is one of the most, okay, so we watched VJ's show in Roscoe's, and VJ calls her Bologna, and so that's why I keep calling her Bologna. And so, but Bologna is extraordinary talent, an extraordinary talent, and this is just the one thing I have not liked from her that, like, I want to point out.
I didn't like her unconventional look.
I do
like this. I went Google for it while watching it, and then when I was getting the screen caps and looking at it now, I'm not as Google for it. But I do understand why she got the win for it. I think it's a great piece. I think the ideas of what she was doing, I really appreciate and get. There's parts of it I don't particularly like. I like the idea of sequins. I didn't like how it read on camera. It just didn't look right. That's not her fault because they're not also specifically designing for the camera. They're designing for the people in front of them, which is what a lot of fashion is. That's actually not true. You are designing for cameras in a way, depending if you're doing an editorial look, blah blah blah, whatever. But so this maybe looked better or different in person.
I really get that.
And so when something doesn't look exactly right, from like a material perspective, I kind of have to default to, okay, maybe in person look better, and so looks like at the design elements that she did, and just pretend it's all muslin, pretend it's all just a basic fabric. Does it still work? And I think the design elements definitely do work. Do I think Law was a little harsh calling her story BS? Yes. Was it a good story? No.
So why do you think fucking story?
Yo, this is the greatest fucking screen cap of all time.
By the way, Law wrote, the judge who has words for everything, and I love Law. This is only me jokingly coming for Law. The fact that the only thing on Melania's card is top. That's literally it. There's no other notes.
Top Melania.
There might
no score.
Thanks, boo.
She didn't circle the score. There might be something to the left of it. It looks, because the image isn't high res. It looks like maybe erased. Go.
Can I tell you, with our experience in traders, I'm just glad that Melania's name is spelled correctly.
People, yeah.
Well, it might be on the top of the card.
The entertainment crew gets an E for effort.
We did just see Alan Cumming live in Cabaret, and I just want to say that
not in Cabaret, in his show,
in his show, which is a cabaret.
Yes,
we saw him live in person in his cabaret
for his show Uncut. I believe he might be shopping elsewhere around the globe and the US.
It's going to be right back in February at another local theater, but definitely a good time, and definitely somebody who engages really positively with this kind of stuff. So definitely, if you get a chance, go see it.
And the only reason why this is so shocking that Law didn't write anything down, I don't remember if it was last season or the season before. It might be 19, one of the other ones that we've covered. Go back and check. You go back and watch all of it for us, and you can tell me which one it is
in the comments. Drop
in the comments. We saw a picture of Nina's card, and Nina had wrote in 50 paragraphs of notes of what she. This was in the top.
Oh yeah, she's nuts.
This was in the top, and she wrote 50 lines of comments of things that she loves. So I don't even know if she said all of them. Like finding out through Trixie and Katya that every single judge, but sans rue, doesn't give judgments, gets 5 to 6 minutes to give critiques to each girl, like uninterrupted, and so each girl's getting a half hour of critiques
minimum,
and that's not including so yeah. Anyway, the point being, there's obviously a lot more said that's not shown to us. I just thought it was very funny that his card had literally nothing. That being said, I kind of liked Antonio's. I thought it was actually kind of fine. I do not think it really deserved to be in the top. I love the bunny. I love a thing that's a purse that's not supposed to be a purse. That I love. But I actually didn't really care for it too much. I kind of think this should have been on the bottom. This is bad.
This just looks unthought. And obviously I can't design, so I'm not saying, oh wow, I could do better. I'm not coming for anybody's ability. I'm saying this looks unthought. Like when I write a song and I send it to people, and I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, well, okay, there's notes that are just clashing. Was there a reason? No. Okay, well then don't have the clashing notes. This is just weird.
Jessica looks fantastic. She was pumping it.
Yeah.
The coat is great, but it looks like he looks like he spent no time on the coat, but then looks like he ran out of time for everything else. Everything else is just bad. I don't like it. If I saw a girl walking down the street in this exact thing, I'd be like, where the fuck are your clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know. I think this is very cool. This whole the whole idea of streetwear is just one of those things where I go, so I don't get it. To me, streetwear is super functional with flair. None of the things that anybody made this week have any functionality to me at all. But at least if I saw this walking down the street, I'd be like, a Hadid has wandered by on her way to Zero Bond Street. Like some of them, I was just like, I don't even know why you would be on the street as opposed to just in the 3 feet from the Uber limo to the red carpet. Like, I think a lot of people went way too high. I thought Jones was fine, but this is also one of the things where I was just like, I just don't get streetwear. I don't understand the point of looking that fly and not being it being
Going
like
somewhere.
I was like if you're on the street you have to be functional.
I don't know, guys. I put on my fuck me shorts to go to Kohl's. Like I'm like ready.
Right,
I want
but
the
your fuck me
attention.
shorts are functional. Like, you're not
So-
out here in like
okay.
4 strips of like fabric kind of like draped haphazardly as you drift into
Like,
Whole Foods.
What is this in terms
Like,
of
what are we
streetwear?
doing?
Like a ghastly looking for vegetables.
Like, I understand, like, we
Victorian
moved past
ghost.
the idea of business casual at the club, which was a racist response to people saying no Timberlands and no sweatpants. But, like, what are we doing with streetwear? I don't get it. And so, like, all of this, I'm just like, it looks nice and they look cute. I don't know. I can't give an I hate it or an I love it to these because I think they all look dumb. Sorry.
As someone who is not a fashion expert, none of us are. We're just fans of this show, and
Big
a lot
fan.
of our knowledge comes from
Mhm.
here. I think I view streetwear as the closest you are getting to wearable avant-garde.
I love that.
You are right. It should be
Elevated
about-
streetwear. Yeah.
Streetwear is about looking. It should be a head turner where if you're walking down the street, someone should go, "Damn, that person looks cool. I want
Yeah.
to like."
Yes.
I think that the operative word is cool. You should be looking cool, and
Okay.
I also don't think you're wrong. A lot of streetwear should have functionality, which is why I think a lot of designers talk about making coats, making oversized like a hoodie or something along those lines, because it's still streetwear is actually meant to be wearable. It's not something like avant-garde. It's not like a fashion show where it's not a custom piece or like our evening wear. Like streetwear is one of those things meant to be worn.
It's like day drag.
Well,
Kind
yeah,
of,
it's
exactly.
like-
Like
It's-
that's the idea.
it's what you wear when you want to look good, not going to like an event like the Oscars, let's say. When going out to lunch is a thing where you would want to make a statement, where going to a party at the day where you're going to literally walk from your house and be on the street and go to the place, but the place is not necessarily high end. It is not something where you have to wear couture. You would want to wear streetwear. And I think what killed me about poor Jones is, so these are things that you could wear out to like a Sunday day party. Like streetwear is something you could wear out to a Sunday day party, but you're like a minor celebrity and you like want to look hot. A lot of the stuff they do are like gowns or things that you would try and wear to the Oscars or to like something with a real red carpet that has a lot of prestige. This is what you would put Queen Latifah in to go to the Video Music Awards.
I was literally just
is-
thinking VMAs.
Yeah, I mean, this is a VMAs look, and like cool shit gets worn at the VMAs. The VMAs are an event.
It's where Madonna debuted that narrow high pony that changed all of our lives.
And then
Truly.
But like I would also
But
call
it's-
Justin and Britney's denim look. I would be like, yeah, that's streetwear, I suppose.
That
Yeah,
is
well,
actually
yeah,
pretty
but
streetwear.
that the point of the VMAs is
good,
like
but-
you can do a denim look, and it might read casualer than other people's looks, but it's not going to read like literally you made a mistake showing up here like this, where you cannot wear the denim look to the Oscars.
Right.
Every time a guy tries to do that, he comes off like a total asshole. Jones was more casual than like a very high-end event, but it was more elevated than like you're not getting out of a cab and walking to
You're not walking to
brunch in
Gelson's
this.
Yeah, you're not going to get quinoa at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I guess this is more like I'm strutting the boulevard shopping like Pretty Woman.
I think there are
vibes.
two problems with Jones' look. One, she looks like a pimp.
Yes.
It's like it's too veering into like
I'm
a
not
pimp,
mad about that.
which isn't wrong.
It's got that
I'm not
Niecy
mad
Nash
about it.
claws kind of sexy, fun vibe that is streetwear, but you're right. It's elevated in a specific way that wasn't the challenge.
And
The hat and the leg flare and the cape. Yeah.
and I'm only kind of clocking it now, and I don't know if it's because the way the material is reading on camera. Again, it could look very different in person. It almost looks like a silky pajama.
I thought a
material.
muumuu.
So this almost like
Captain.
for a friend's I was bridesman in a friend's wedding, and she got all of us that were in her bridal party monogrammed like a silk set of pajamas. Like that's what this reminds me of.
It also by that
I do.
by that same note, giving me Golden Girls very much when they
Blanche's
would wear
bedroom. Yep.
They would wear big flowy things where you couldn't tell if it was a nightgown or just day wear. It's giving that for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this one feels a little more like resort vacation streetwear.
Yes, resort. I like the print though. I get that they were like it's too obvious. No, I like the print.
And
fuck them.
Yeah.
Honestly, between Day Drag and TK, what you said, I really came to realize, like, I think streetwear for me is when I'm walking at, Woody's in my onesie, like when I'm in that the kind of fashiony green olive onesie, where it's like I'm trying to look cute, I want to look fabulous, but like I'm not trying to look like I put in too much effort.
And he's gonna drop that pic on his IG stories after this, so
We have plenty.
I love that, and I do have plenty of photos in it. But so like I do understand it a little bit better, and one of the things that I do want to point out is that I think everybody did kind of go a little above the mark. I feel like streetwear is meant to look also comfortable to an extent. Like there is meant to be an element of like accessibility to it. And like, I feel like Yuchin is going to get stuck on a staircase banister any minute. That's, you're never going to find your keys. And I also, I feel like Utica's is amazing, but it's sort of like Utica doing streetwear.
Can I defend Utica's in a weird way?
Oh, I mean, I already love it. So continue to defend something I love. I'm here for
as
it.
Heidi said, the fact that Utica made 3 pieces and those 3 specific pieces in one day is actually insane.
it is.
I think all of these work as individual streetwear elements.
Okay.
But not specifically all together. I think if truthfully, if she had just made a cute crop top, I actually think she would have won. I like the bodysuit, and I think the bodysuit can work for a different kind of look.
Yeah, because Miss Sinister here is hot as shit.
Yeah, you're right. Like if she had just done like a like made like a white T-shirt that just like had like a loose
T-shirt
crop the bottom,
something akin to like a sports bra.
Yeah,
like you know how like that sort of shape, a bandeau. Yes, I think that would have been closer. But she's also a drag queen and does evening wear and does avant-garde. So like, yeah, it makes sense that this is what she came up with. But I think individually, like the coat and the pants are absolutely fantastic.
They're amazing, yeah.
I have no notes. And I understand why she wasn't in the top because it might have been a little too much, but...
I have a quick question, because I know that we talk a lot about how, like, couture and avant-garde and things. I know when we talk about, when they set the runways for Drag Race, they include certain keywords that let you know, like, the level you're supposed to be operating at realness versus eleganza versus gala versus ball, like all of that kind of stuff. Do they kind of expect this, or are they expecting like we are looking for a couture Paris spring runway level every time?
Do you want to answer first?
So what I understand is they get like a little dossier, or at least they used to get like a little thing that told them what they were doing. I don't know if they're told a level to hit. I think from what I've also been told, Project Runway tends to not give enough information and people feel a little unguided throughout the process. And so I would not be surprised if they don't, because I think that's part of how people get the wrong, like this is a show where everybody will get the assignment wrong. Like every now and then, the teacher will be like, look, you did the assignment wrong, but I'm going to give you an A because this is a beautiful passage. And I got to move it down to a B because it's the wrong assignment. But I'm blown away. This is one of the only reality shows I've ever seen where everybody gets the assignment wrong. Together.
Yes. Because oftentimes I find the judges aren't specifically consistent with what they want. Sometimes they're like, you could be walking on the runway of Paris or New York right now and you'd be incredible. And sometimes they're like, I can see this as an editorial look in a fashion spread magazine right now. And those are 2 separate things. Editorial and runway are 2 separate categories. And people are often praised for different things. So to like answer your question specifically, it depends. Sometimes it's challenge dependent, But like for a broad challenge like this, where it was just the category of streetwear, it was just make an elevated streetwear look, there was nothing else tacked onto it. It could have gone either way. Someone could have made an editorial streetwear look and they could have been praised for it. They could have been dinged for it for making it editorial. But in another week, if they specifically said editorial, have been praised. It changes season to season, episode to episode, day to day.
Okay.
And it even makes me want to know a little bit more about like how these people are all coming together to do this. Something that I feel like we're getting bits of, that you got to watch Roscoe's. If you're not watching Roscoe's, you are literally only getting half the story.
I said it last week. We'll repeat it again.
Yeah, it really is my Untucked. It makes me happy. Number one, I really root for Ethan. And if you want something kind of cool, there will be no Ethan in this coming week's Roscoe's. Instead, it's Kimura and Detox.
I wasn't going to call it cool. I was going to say, for those of you who are interested in the season but not interested in Ethan, you can get next week.
Well, I do love that, but I just love Detox showing up. That's
cool.
There was someone at this week's Roscoe I thought was Detox. I don't think it actually was, but it sounded like
sounded just like her.
I only said it because a fan was asking a question in the middle of them, like just not during question time, and I was like, I think they would only do that, respond to them if it was Detox.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew the person.
But in it, so there's this moment that was like my favorite moment of reality TV of the year, where Ethan just can't stop crying, and Joan gives him this moment of humanity, this moment of grace. If you watch the Roscoe's, it actually turns out Joan caused the moment.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
The one thing he was afraid was that his look was reading evening wear, and Joan, a fellow evening wear designer, comes up to him and goes, "Ethan, I'm worried it's reading a little evening wear." And so he just started to cry. And I just think that she was trying to help, did the right thing by coming to him, and then did the right thing by comforting him. But as a person who sometimes needs that figure to be comforting, I found this to be one of the greatest moments of humanity on like a reality show I've seen in a long time.
Oh, this was great. I loved this.
This is gorgeous.
It's also a little firm hand. I feel like if you push it a little further, it almost comes off SNL parody levels with the Ethan, get it together, Ethan.
It is a little bit. Thanks for
do this,
Baba.
Come on, just get it on the mannequin, Ethan.
But like, as someone who has been part of a lot of the role of stage managing is keeping everyone's emotions where they should be, and sometimes you just end up and you're just like, this person is having like a level 7 panic attack about losing a safety pin. Like you just sort of have to like talk them back down to like a regular level, and then you're okay.
Sometimes you're the Joan and sometimes you're the Ethan. I've been on both sides, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're the Yuchin, who came into this challenge with the best ideas, such a vision, such a strong perspective. Again, like Melania, such a talented person, somebody who I don't want to speak ill of their talent, but what he put down the runway this week looked like it should have been something someone wore in a McDonald's commercial helping to promote those cups from Batman Forever. Like, it looks like something like a streetwear Riddler should have worn in the 90s.
So here's the thing. This is the most accurate, I think, out of everybody in streetwear. But this is so conventional. And as our lovely model and guest judge and model said, it's expected. There was nothing new here. Utica also talked about how Yuchin's original idea was to do a very large, oversized hoodie. And then when Yuchin's model got there, his model was just too muscular, so it just didn't fit him. It fit him well. And that wasn't the intent. And Yuchin was like, well, there goes that idea. To which I say, you knew what the model's size
measurements. They give them the measurements.
Yes. And this isn't a Melania situation where they switched the model. It's you knew what the model's size was. And so you can estimate it to be a little bit bigger than what you even wanted to. Like, I wasn't even really sure of that. That sounded weird and off.
To me, that sounds like it would be very strange to find out that they only give certain measurements of the models, because it's true. Like a male model, like yes, their whole circumference might be the same, but bicep circumference is a very different beast. And you can
it
still
really
have the
makes a
same
difference.
shoulder measurement, and it'll be a completely different. So I think it would have come up a lot more often in previous seasons if they're only getting like 10 measurements of these kids and hoping for the best.
You used to be able to see pictures. Sometimes you'll see the model cards and they give like height, weight, and then they give what I presume for designers is the important sizes. So if they have a woman who has breasts, they'll have bust size, waist.
Yeah, because there's like because you're gonna want shoulder, you're gonna want sleeve length, you're gonna want how tall, what's the inseam, hip, waist, chest, maybe a neck circumference or a head circumference, and like, everything else is kind of But like now, if we're getting into like different bodies, we're not going for the wire hangers of the 90s. Like you kind of have to make those known. I don't know.
And when you specifically said bicep circumference, I have a more developed bicep than shoulder. And so like for me, I would buy these dress shirts where I'm like, oh, my arms look so bad. Oh, they look so bad because the shirt is like coming down too far because I'm trying to buy for my back and my shoulders. And like, that's the magic of working with a designer that can custom do your clothes for you. You're not going to be like, oh, this looks bad because part of it isn't fitting the right way. And like, it's so fascinating that just to use 24 and 24 again, like these people were asked basic conversion questions after 19 hours and couldn't do basic conversion from cups to ounces anymore because they were exhausted. Being put into pressure situations takes your logic and it just throws it out the window. And so like, I think a lot of times you can take a step back and look at something and go, that's bad. Ethan at Roscoe's said they wanted to make a collection on some of the stuff they made, and they're like, what about the denim look if I reworked it? And like nobody in the one person reacted. And
I think that person was just being nice and was a fan. I don't think they actually were. They're not buying it.
And like that's part of it. Like we're talking about taking incredibly brilliant people who are meant to make these incredible couture pieces, and we're asking them to behave like factory workers to complete these assignments. And it's a startling thing to realize how many of your faculties start to fail when things are pushed just the right way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's something I remember. I was talking with Carmine Allers, who's a Broadway actress one time, and she was saying how her audition for a play was too early in the morning. And when she thought about it, what she would have to be doing when in that play for that role, when she has to hit certain notes, no, it would always be like it's first thing in the morning if you ask her, and so it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah. And
like you realize that there are things that are, no matter how talented you are, maybe that's not the thing where you hit it. Yep. And that's just kind of like the magic of these incredibly talented people. You can be incredibly talented and realize that's not the one for you. And I wonder how many of these people with time would have said, you know what, I'm not a one-day challenge person. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, how many of these looks would not look this way? How Yuchin would have gotten to do his giant alien eyes, and that would have maybe transformed the whole look. Or how many of these people with a second day would have rethought a garment and put something worse down the runway? We just need to take one look at Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein to go, oh shit, you really can overthink something.
Oh.
Well, it's coming from the man who saw a UFO and said it was too gaudy and I don't have the words to describe it.
Oh my god.
That's a real story about
Guillermo
del Toro.
Yeah. I think this comes down to questions that I ask myself about Drag Race 2. Is the show here to showcase good drag, or is the show here to show us drag queens getting into shitty situations? And I think that's sort of going to be the question with Project Runway is, are we here to show good designs and good designers, or are we here to fuck around and have talented people so at least it's still going to look good? What are we doing?
Drag Race? Oh, please go, Kevy.
It's not that this being what you're describing is a bad thing. Right. But Project Runway previously was a bit more about the design, about giving them more time, about it being constructive, pun intended. So, yeah, it's not that I have a problem with this being what we're doing, But now I fear anyone who pays attention to this show and might want to be on this show is going to feel differently about auditioning if this is the undeclared new format.
If we keep giving Untux awards when people are fighting, what personalities are we going to keep trying to get Emmy awards for?
Yes. Drag Race is a reality show disguised as a talent show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are pretending this is a talent show, but it's a reality show where story and giving people what they want will get you a little bit further, will get you more airtime, will get you better things, might get you a win, might save you from the bottom from the bottom two in lip syncing if you have a storyline going, if you have things that make you an entertaining personality. There are thousands, they're not thousands, maybe there's thousands, there are countless queens who've been on the show who are innumerably talented at a multitude of things. But they don't make it. Sometimes they don't make it far, and sometimes they're made out. Sometimes they just don't win. That's not because they're not talented. It's because the show is going with a specific story. Project Runway feels like it's trying to move to that style of reality competition.
Well, better that than a glorified catalog.
But it's less Drag Race and a little bit more like we've been talking about, that 24 and 24, where it is more about your physical endurance under duress of sometimes outlandish challenges. So it's at least, I think, because I don't feel like you're getting rewarded for having storylines all the time.
Not on this show.
Yeah.
On Drag
Well, I don't
Race-
have time for storylines on this show.
Well, when it's Ethan's show, who's the main character, and then you have the twins who are bickering with everybody else, there's not much room for other storylines. I will say, to your concerns, until there is a better alternative, like Drag Race, if an up-and-coming designer who has enough success and enough ideas wants to get out there more, they kind of have to go on this show. Drag Race, and here's the thing. You can have a fantastic career with or without going on a show, Drag Race, Top Chef, Project Runway, whatever competition show. If you are actively trying to get your name out there, for a show like Top Chef, it's not as important because outside of winners, I'm not really going to someone's restaurant because they're a Top Chef person. I'm going to a restaurant because it's good. Like the Top Chef thing is just whatever. But if you're trying to get into competition cooking, which is a subsect of cooking, you kind of have to get on Top Chef. That is your avenue, or you get on Guys Grocery Game,
or Chopped,
or Beat Bobby Flay, or whatever. You have to do these. You have to do the ringer. You have to do the gamut. That's one of those things. For every Christian Siriano, there's literally hundreds of designers we've never heard of see again. There are winners that do not have the notoriety.
Yes.
Christian Siriano is a savant. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
This is Project Runway sometimes feels like American Idol to me, where like sometimes the winners don't go very far.
Oh, I love that.
Because at the end of the day, the way that people design and the way that they crown a winner on this show isn't always the same. Sometimes they do people who have good marketability. You have some people who get to have a great clientele and amazing list, like, even though he's not a winner, a Micah Costello or a Christian Siriano. Or you're someone like Mondo Guerra who has great ideas, great fashion. We see stuff that he's made on Drag Race. Like, but there are plenty of winners who they're great and they were great for the time and they're great for the show, but fashion is only as much as people are willing to buy it. Doesn't matter how good of a runway you have. You got to make things people want to buy, depending on what you want to do. Are you doing a collection for, like Macy's or something like that, or are you having your own private clientele that order custom outfits from you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going into the final stretch here. We only got a few episodes left, a few eliminations left, a few challenges left. We got twins mouthing off to Nina, who's not even in the room. That's power. When you're not even in the room and people are desperate to get their revenge on you. Really, though, I hope that that's why they don't send him to the finals, just because that behavior is so incredibly immature. I would never even want to work with you.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, I just can't even imagine anybody who would want to have earned their place as a woman who is not a native English speaker, having fought her way through so much misogyny and racism, to have somebody underhandedly mock her when she's not around. Definitely befits how hard she's worked. Real good job proving why you deserve to be a professional.
I think she doesn't think him at all.
Literally, I was gonna quote the Ben Feldman Mad Men moment, because that's the thing. I don't think that she's bothered by your vendetta against her either. So what are you holding on to this for?
Yeah. Paint me
I
the
agree,
villain,
she's not
sweetheart.
bothered.
I still run the guillotine.
Yeah, I agree she's not bothered, but to me, it's pathetic. Like,
It's so
not that he is,
inappropriate.
but that behavior is not befitting a professional. It's
Yes.
literally going nah, 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 nah. It's like literally something that I tell 8th graders that if I ever see them do, I will recommend they can't go to high school.
And it's coming from the less talented twin.
So, final thoughts. Wrap us up, people. Who got something left to say? Who's got it in them?
You know, I wish I was less exhausted by this show when it comes to how the eliminations happen. It really is. This one, they really came at me this week because they took them all the way back onto the stage, and I was like, "Oh, finally, we're finally moving past this. We're moving on. We're gonna do it right." And then they were just like, "Is next week horses or whatever they're doing," and
Horses.
I just
Exact
I was like,
pose.
"What are we?" I was like, "Why are we still doing this? Why is this happening?" It's such a deflation. And especially because then the spoiler happens Wednesday afternoon. You know, like,
was
and
not
not even in the
thought
way
out.
where they show you the person like being like, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh no, sad, sad, sad." It's just literally like, let's play the part where we introduce the next challenge and we just don't care where the camera is.
Yeah, it's sloppy.
And he's still coming.
Sloppy and a zero interest in bringing back an editor to just tweak these teasers a little. They
Oh my
have the footage.
Zach Posen back next week.
Hi, designers.
Yeah, that's exciting. The Zach bot, we're excited to see him. Yeah, and at this point, I feel like we're not gonna change format. We're not gonna get any amount of. So what's really gonna be annoying for me is they're gonna cliffhanger us into the finale, and I don't want that.
I mean, maybe they won't, but I think they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't think they won't, but I can pray.
Yeah.
I think great episode, great idea for a challenge. Sucks, Yu-Chen I think just got in his head, and I think Joan was just had a very specific idea that just didn't pan out the way it should have. I hate that I still hate the elimination style because it's just you lose all momentum, and I really, 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 really want to wear VJ's outfit.
I love it. Where can we find you?
You can find me places online at Hey Jonah.
Tori, tell me, final thoughts. Where can we find you?
You can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I. Let's go, Ethan. Let's make this magic happen. Bring the crown home.
I love it. Editor extraordinaire, KEVO, where can we find you? And final thoughts?
You can find me at KEVO Realoy. That's KEVOREALOY. For all the flaws that we are finding with this season, it has been good. It is better than the season 20 All-Stars season was 2 years ago. So please take all of our critiques with a grain of salt and understand we just want to make the best show possible. So, really enjoying it and looking forward to more, even with the rodeo challenge coming next week.
I love it. TK, final thoughts. Where can we find you? So excited to have you on for this season.
Final thoughts. La Roach, let Melania live. Let her face move. Let her breathe. Let her have a moment.
Hashtag lawless Melania.
Truly. We gotta just give her a second, man. You can find me at TK Accidental. Last but never least.
Oh, that's me, I guess. NICO Action, NICO and NICO Action Music. You can check out all about this show at HTML. X is for show. X is for comics. Check it all out. Like, comment, and subscribe. We love you guys. Final thoughts is this is my jam. I love this show so much. I love that it's been a great season. I just would like a little bit more Nina. She's missed too many in a row. Not her fault, but she's fabulous. Check out what we do. We think you guys are fabulous. We think you guys are amazing. We want to bring this all more to you guys. We got comics on Wednesdays. We got more amazing stuff all weekend long. So tune in, like, comment, subscribe. But also 3 things for yourselves. Number 1, please stay safe. Number 2, please be brave. Number 3, please evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, incredible. But who you are tomorrow, that's the person that Law Roach will leave alone. So until you finally get to breathe that Melania air, baby, we'll see ya. Baby.
Bye.